I like the underlying message of this episode that really, wherever there's despair, there is hope. That you should never really give up, and one day you will find a resolve. Subaru really finds his resolve at the end of the episode. He finds out what he really needs to do. He finds out that now he's going to learn for what he doesn't know, go forward and actually save Rem and Ram, and actually take his life into his own hands, and actually commit suicide, and actually kind of just take this whole entire thing in his own hands. Now, what will this whole reset do when he commits suicide? What will happen? What will change? How will the world change since he actually hasn't been killed by a force? He's actually taken his whole life into his own hands. He's actually killed himself. What does that do to the world? Does that change anything? What does it change? Does it change the characters, how they see him? Does it destroy the whole checkpoint system that we actually really been led on to believe this whole entire time? What really does happen there? It's really just proven to be an interesting content. I really want to see what happens. I guess there'll be a kicker that what happens if he doesn't actually die and Beatrice actually saves him. Right at the end, very, very end, you really do hear the sounds of crunching, and since you really do hear the bone sounds. So I don't think he's actually got out of the situation, but still, there's that whole possibility as well. But really, what's going to happen to the world once he resets? Does he start right back at the beginning? Will he just kind of go through the entirety of the whole anime once again? We don't know. But it's interesting, because now I'm kind of seeing to myself, what happens when he sees like this one timeline where he doesn't like and says he can't actually save anyone in this timeline, he can't do anything, nothing he's doing is fixing anything. Will he just go, okay, there's nothing, I can't do anything in this timeline, and just commit suicide? Will he just do that? I'm just kind of just really interested to see what's going forward with that whole idea, and since now he's taking his own life into his own hands, what's he going to do with that? What's he going to do from now on? Is he just going to see if he gets to a situation where it's really, really bad and he can't actually get out of the situation, will he just do it himself? Will he just commit suicide? I don't know, but still, it's proving to be a really interesting concept. It's one of the other concepts of this anime that's really kind of getting to me now, and since I really want to know going forward what's going to happen with that. But this episode overall was freaking amazing. Like, I must say, this episode really got to me. Like, I had to rewatch the opening scene a couple of times to really understand what's happening, what was being said. And each time that I watched it, it just affected me even more and more, because you really understood at this point those resets are taking a toll on Subaru. It's really getting to him. Like before, once he resetted, he kind of got up and said, okay, I'm going to carry on, I'm going to do something this time, I'm actually going to go fix something. But in this one, when he actually had to get killed by Rem, he finally cracked. Like, in the sense, he really finally cracked. Says, no one remembers who he is. Every single events he's done so far, no one remembers who he is. No one remembers anything they've done with him. So when he's saying, I've learned all these things, and Rem just goes, what the hell are you talking about? It really does get to him, in the sense, you really understand that actually, yeah, no one's remembering anything they're doing with him. And it really does get to him, in the sense, he says, why do you all hate me so much? What have I done to you? And it's true. What has he done? He's done nothing wrong. He's been transported to this world. What has he done wrong in his whole entirety of his anime that really does kind of get him to have this whole curse that he has? What's he done? I don't know, but still, it just gets to him. And when he wakes up after the reset and sees Rem just standing there, the fact that he just kind of cowers in fear and he starts screaming, because he just saw the person who was murdered him right in front of him. He doesn't know why. And since we kind of understand that really, there's this whole idea with the witches, the whole witch cult, and it really, I guess, Subaru smells or reeks of the actual witch, and the witch's stench gets stronger and stronger, in a sense, really to a point where people kind of suspect the whole idea that actually he might be with the witches, that Rem kind of says, are you with the witches? And we kind of get the whole idea that maybe there's something with that as well, and since, is there some kind of past with Rem and Ram with the witches? We're not too sure, but granted, it's kind of getting to an interesting concept that what's going to go on with that? Is it going to be kind of the central thing of the next couple of arcs? Will he actually kind of find out what's really going on with the witches? I want to know, because it's actually proving to be really interesting content, since sometimes he even can't say to Amelia, he can't say his power, since he was going to say, like, he was going to, like, kind of spill the beans and say what his power was. Really just kind of saying, look, I've been fighting on my own, but now I can finally tell someone. He's like to tell her, but then it just stops. And the interior kind of figure that's really watching over the entirety of this thing, which I kind of thought to myself, there has to be a figure that's watching over this entire thing, that's kind of just controlling this whole entire thing. And this episode kind of addresses that. The fact that actually this hand just comes out of nowhere and kind of just grabs his heart and just kind of squishes it. And it kind of, I thought to myself, this whole entire time, because in the opening, there's always this whole hand that comes out and grabs him. In a sense, I always kind of thought to myself, is there something more that we're not seeing right now that's actually kind of affecting this whole universe? Is there something more, something that's controlling this whole entire thing? Granted, it could be the witch. It could be the witch that's controlling this whole entire idea. It's really proven to be interesting. The fact he really just couldn't, he can't tell anyone. And when we find out Rem has died from a weakness, like since she kind of died from a weakness curse, maybe the same one that Subaru got, I love how Amelia just says, look, if you can save Rem and Ram, say something, but you know at that point he can't say anything, because what he's going to say, he won't be able to say, because it just stops. He can't say anything. It really does get to me. It really affects him, because he, at heart, he really wants to help, but he can't, because he knows nothing. He really doesn't. He literally knows nothing that happened. He doesn't know what could have happened to Rem. He doesn't know how she could have died, or what could have happened. In a sense, he kind of finds out, actually, no, well, Rem's not the shaman, so who could it be? What's going to go on here? And since Roswell kind of fills in and says, look, she died of a weakness. It's not more of, it's less of a spell, but more of a curse. She's like, she just fell asleep, and you just saw Ram you saw Ram in the most vulnerable state. You saw her just kind of just cry out, and she was crying, like, screaming, crying, like, since she just lost the closest person she ever had to her. Just, it's gone completely. The closest person she's ever had to her is completely gone. Subaru was kind of standing there, what the hell's happened? Like, he survived the fourth night, which kind of makes me realise, was it because of that? Was it him surviving the fourth night really the kind of like turnover point that actually kind of changed the whole entire world? Since he actually kind of asked Beatrice for protection, since in this episode he kind of asked Beatrice, can you protect me until in the morning? Then until one of the mornings, in the fifth morning, I think he said, can you protect me until then? And then she goes, okay, and protect him until then. But you kind of understand the fact that maybe since he actually survived the fourth night, is it because of that? Is it because he survived that night that Rem actually died, and since someone's watching over this and said that's not right and died? Or is it something more that's going on here? I'm not too sure, but granted, I'm kind of interested to find out what's going to happen, since what's going to happen now when he resets? What's going to change? That's what's really the underlying thing. What's going to change? What's going to be affected? What's really going to go forward? I want to know, because it's really affecting me, because I want to know what's going to happen. And really, how he's gonna go forward saving all these people. How he's gonna save the people who really at this point don't like him. Like, in the sense, Ram's gonna kill him. Like, Ram is really gonna kill him. Like, in the sense, when he's on the edge of that cliff, she's gonna murder him. Like, since if he doesn't tell her anything that he knows about what happened to Rem, she's gonna kill him. Like, she was literally about to kill him. In the sense, but he says, okay, look, and there was two hands holding me when I was asleep. Who couldn't it have been? And he finds out it's actually Rem and Ram. So he actually understands at that point, like, look, these people didn't want to see me go through suffering as well, so I can't just leave them here. I've got to fix this. I found my motivation to go forward. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fix what's happened. I'm going to save all of you. And it says he actually kind of understands his weakness and goes forward now with a motivation to actually kind of fix what's going on, learning from his mistakes, learning from what he can do to go forward and actually kind of fix this whole entire thing. He's actually saved his life, but now he's saved his own life, he's going to save the others, he's going to do something about it, he's going to go forward with his motivation to do something, which kind of made me realise he's a good character, he's a good person, in the sense he kind of, those two people were killing him, in the sense, Rem is murdering him. Like, in the beginning of the episode, Rem murdered him, like, literally sliced his neck completely. He doesn't hold a grudge. He says, I'm going to save you, I'm going to find out what's happened, I'm going to go forward saving all of you. Ram as well, Ram's going to murder him as well. But he doesn't hold anything. He's going to go forward just saving him. He's going to fix what's happened and say, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to save all of you. It really does kind of make me realise that, yes, he's a freaking amazing character. I love him. He's become one of his main characters. It really just took me by surprise, because at the beginning, he was kind of cliche. He was kind of that character who's been transported to one and thought, okay, well, I'm going to start using, I know all these things are going to happen, so everything's going to come at me. But in the end, you kind of saw him grow stronger as a person, stronger in the sense that he's actually got this resolve now. He's going to do something. He's growing stronger. The sense he's actually kind of masked all this emotional trauma he's been going through for all these resets. He's kind of understanding the fact that maybe one day, what really does happen if I get to a certain amount of death, am I ever going to come back, or am I going to die completely? I'm not too sure. But I can't take that risk. He's going to fix what he's done. He's going to fix the whole entire ordeal he's going through, and hopefully get to a better future, get to a place where he won't have, you might get to a place where he actually can live on forever, since he won't die at so young. He actually get to an age where he can actually die normally. That's his whole thing. He wants to get to an age where he dies normally. He wants to just fix it to get to a normal timeline so he can just live happily ever after. Maybe with a medium, we're not too sure, but it's just, there is a lot of things going on here that it really just kind of makes me want to go forward, learning a lot more about this world. It's just so freaking interesting. It's just, a lot of the things it's kind of posing right now, it's kind of make me realise it's kind of like a Mark II version of Steins Gate. Like, Erased was almost going to be that. Erased was kind of gearing up to be kind of like, oh my god, it's going to be like the next Steins Gate, and it failed. This one looks like it can actually be the next Steins Gate. Plus it's by White Fox as well, so it kind of makes it even more kind of interesting, the fact that actually both studios have done the exact same thing, since they've both done Steins Gate and they've done reZERO. So it's kind of made me realize that maybe they've actually kind of put their heart and soul into it. It's kind of the thing they know. So they're putting their heart and soul into it, make it as amazing as they can. So they actually prove they're actually a really freaking good studio. And I think to myself, White Fox is an amazing studio. They've had their ups and downs here and there, but they actually are a great studio at certain. When they get a good source material, they will actually make that source material flourish in anime. They will actually make that source material just become and transcend into anime. They will actually make it amazing, and they're doing it with this. They're actually making this whole entire anime just their pet project, their love child. They're making it to be their next kind of big anime, and next kind of Steins for them. And I'm all for it. I want to see what they can do. I want to see what happens next. Because so far, my God, it's been amazing. And I cried at the beginning of the episode. I was literally in floods of tears when I saw Subaru just kind of just break completely. And then when he woke up, be even more broken than he was. Since when he even said to Amelia, like, don't have anything to do with me as well. That sentence really just affected you a lot, because it kind of just made you realize that he says don't have anything to do with me, because he might actually do something bad towards her as well. Something could happen to her as well. So him just saying don't have anything to do with me just kind of makes you realize he's trying all of the things in his possibility to actually kind of fix everything. And yeah, I mean, I did freaking cry. This episode was freaking like, it was emotionally heart-wrenching. I didn't want to watch it. The one he was just breaking down in tears and just saying, why do you hate me so much? What have I ever done to you? It just really got to me. It's in the very first 5 minutes as well. I just kind of went, holy Christ! Like they ain't stopping. Like they ain't gonna. This whole like kind of suffering train ain't stopping anytime soon. It's keep on going. And it's just getting to a point where I kind of like, no, don't. I just don't want to see his character suffer. I really don't, because he doesn't deserve anything he's going through. What has he done wrong? What has he done to deserve this whole entire ordeal he's going through? It's not really ever been explained. He's been transported to this world for no apparent reason. He's been stuck with this curse. Now, what's he done wrong as a person that he's actually have to be this person, to have this curse, just constantly die in such gruesome ways? What has he done to deserve this? Nothing. He's literally done nothing. The poor lad is literally just going through life like normal. But life just stings you in the worst possible ways, they say. Life just reminds you that sometimes there is suffering, but there's always hope as well at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, with all that said, I've been the driver. You're going to be like, do leave a like, it doesn't have quite a bit, leave a sub. Do leave a sub, it doesn't have quite a bit. But with all that said, I've been the driver, and I will see you guys later. Bye for now.